Hey, what's going on? This is Dr. Jeff. Welcome to the third and final video in the Advantage 101. There, I got it. 101 webinar series. Listen, you guys, this is an important class that you've been through. These videos are designed to give you guys the tips, the tricks, the advantages to getting the most out of your care, getting the best results for the longest amount of time for the rest of your life. You guys, this is an important thing when it comes to health. As we're going to dive into this video, we're going to put some of the old and some of the new, and we're going to put it together in a review style and moving you forward and helping you understand and consider the possibilities that you may once thought as far as healthcare. Well, if I feel good, I must be healthy. You know, we are going to help plant seeds in there so that you can live what we call this thing called the Advantage Life, something my family and I have been blessed to be able to live and continue to do so. You know, so many people are like, well, who's your kid's doctor? And I don't know. You know, I mean, we've had to date, now one of our children has ever been to the hospital after birth. So yes, we are all born, they're born we had midwives. It was an amazing experience. But after they left the hospital on that second day, they've never returned to the hospital. And it was pretty amazing because right now, you know, having 4 kids, 3 of them boys, and I'll tell you what, even having one girl, she's the toughest of them all. One of them broke their arm at one time, and that was the only time we've ever been back. Now, it's not because we're anti-doctor or anti-medicine, it's because there hasn't been a need. We have put together fundamental, foundational pieces in my children's healthcare team that I utilize, that my wife utilizes, that so many of our patients utilize, that it not only saves them so much from medical costs, but it helps them live a healthier, happier life. And that's why we call it the Advantage Life. That's why people drive to our office. And so in this video, the main things I want to go through is help you understand as you go through the health timeline. Now remember, this is in my book. You'll see it in the office. We've got 3 phases of health: disadvantage, the transition zone, and the advantage zone. Obviously, all of us want to be here, and most of us start down here by the time we pick up the phone and say, hey, Dr. Jeff, can you help me? And so what I want to encourage you is that in the grand scheme of things, chiropractic is one piece. And now it's the most important. It's in fact the most fundamentally foundational piece as far as helping your nerve system, the thing that controls everything. They call it the master system for a reason. That system be able to communicate properly so that you are more adaptable to outside forces, stress, whether they're chemical, whether they're physical, whether they're emotional. By the way, you may want to rewind and play that last 30 seconds. I know there's a lot of info there, but we also have to understand that what you do outside of the office, what the thoughts you put in, the food you put in, the exercise that you put your body under, all of these foundational things have to be in place. You cannot rely on me as your sole source of fixing all your problems. And so as we dive through this, we know that in life we are either moving towards health or we're moving away from health. There is no in between. We don't get to say, hey God, could you just time out for today? Just can I take today off, and where I go through today, nothing's gonna affect my health. Like no matter what thoughts I think, no matter what foods I eat, no matter how much time I binge watch Netflix on the couch, nothing is going to affect excuse me, how well my body works and functions. Please, can we just take a day off? It doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. Now, it would be nice. I get it. We'd all love a day where we're just like, hey, let's go crazy. But if we consider the fact that everything we do has a cumulative effect, I am willing to bet we take each day a little different. So now, when we think about this, what are some of the top things that you really want to get out of life? And I've asked people these questions. Throughout the office, I've said, hey, you know, what are some of your top goals? And you know what? Doing this over a decade now and literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of adjustments given, is that people are seeking a few things, but I've boiled them down to the people I love taking care of the most, the people who get the best results, the people who refer their entire family, the people who I still get to take care of when it's been 11 years. And yes, I still take care of my very first new patient. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely incredible is when we look at those 3 things and what people really are after or really desire. Well, the easy one, the low-hanging one, when we ask people, well, I want to be healthier. Now that takes on a lot of forms, but even being healthier, you know what the byproduct of being healthier is? In fact, if people probably don't really want to be healthier, they want the result of being healthier. And you know what that is? People are often happier. So healthier people are happier people, flat out. Like when you think of your best friends, the people you love being around with, and hanging out with, and spending time with, are they people that are generally happy, or are they crabby? Like, are they people that fill you, or are they people that drain you? I'm willing to bet they're happier. And so people, yeah, obviously they want to be healthier, but usually because they want to be happier. And then the other type of it, there's two things people really, really want, and they're both connected a lot, is more productive. I want to get more done. How many of us are saying that? We're like, hey, you know what, man, I wish I could just get more done. I wish that I wasn't tired all the time. I want more energy so I can get more done, so that I can spend time with my family when I come home from work, that I'm not exhausted. See, healthier people are happier people, and happier people are more productive people. And this is the coolest part of it. So when you start to think of your health, yeah, I want to be healthier, and I want to be down here, Dr. Jeff, I want to be living my advantage life, not in the disadvantage zone. That's why this health spectrum is so important. Remember, there are no neutral days. And so when we look at this and we say, okay, I want to take charge, I want to take control. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching the videos. That's why you've implemented some of the steps along the way that we've talked about in the first and second video. I wanted to make this video about who's watching. And not watching the video, but who's watching you. Who are you setting the example for? Whether it's your kids, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your friends, your coworkers. What about them and their health? You see, what I've often found is it's even around Christmas time, it's so much better to what? Give than receive. What if you could be that person for someone else that says, hey, you know what? Have you tried chiropractic? And they're like, I know, I've tried chiropractic, it didn't work. You're like, well, where did you go? You're like, oh, I was in a place when I hurt, and they poke on the place that hurts, and they give me the same adjustment every time, but I just didn't get better. Chiropractic is a bunch of, they're quacks. Like, they just take your money. Well, guess what? Did they have a process? Did they have a plan? Did they have a system? Did they have a literally like laid out plan that you can follow to get results? What happens when it goes south? Did they have plans for that? You see, what most people fail to realize, and if we could consider this, that your brain runs everything. Your brain runs literally everything. Your heart beating, your lungs breathing. And there's this critical connection called your spine and nerve system that hooks it up to your body. And when everything's working, things work really, really easy. You don't have to tell your heart how to beat, your lungs how to breathe. And that gives you function. That gives you the ability to get up, get through the day, and get things done that you need to get done. Be the person that you want to be. And ultimately, that adds up to your health. And you know what? Feeling good's a huge part of that. But when life hits, when stress, and when we can't adapt because we've never checked in on the communication system. We've never said, how is it working? We've never had our core score. We've never had our scans. And we say, well, over time, things accumulate. And that pattern gets interrupted. Chiropractors have a really cool word called subluxation. There will not be a spelling test, by the way, on your worksheet for this video. But this stuff that build up and basically maladaptation of stress interrupts this communication. And then are things easier or harder? They can become harder. Things start to function in a dis-ease function. In fact, our dis-ease starts to begin. And then are things functioning well? No, they're malfunctioning. Excuse me, you can begin to see where things start to malfunction. If I were to tell you directions to my house, and I said, well, you turn left at the stone bridge, and then you turn north and you go 5 miles, and then my hand becomes the subluxation and interrupts the communication, there's no way you're going to end up where you want to go. So why do we think that's so easy and so elementary to understand that, but we have a hard time when it comes to our health? Have you ever wondered if we've really complicated it too much? When you think about it, what else do we need? We need good fuel. We need solid food. We need good mental input, positive mental input. We need exercise. We need connection with other people. And we need connection internally. With this connection piece of external and internal is absolutely crucial. And so your chiropractor is the person on your healthcare team who makes sure that critical system of your body, that communication system, is communicating in the best possible scenario with who you are and where your body's been and everything you've done to it and everything you're going to do to it. Isn't it important to know that the communication, the control tower, command central, is firing on all cylinders? What could you do if you knew that system was functioning better? What medications wouldn't you need? How much energy would you have? What would be the quality of relationships? You know, if you started getting happier, healthier, more productive, what would your life look like? And on the flip side, what if you don't? What if you go back this way? You know, I've had patients I've sat toe to toe, knee to knee with, and if they didn't get a hold of their health, they're going to get a divorce. Like, it had gotten so bad, the sleep issues, the crabbiness, because healthy, happier, and more productive, what's the flip side of that coin? Well, sicker, crabbier, and less productive. It's not a good scenario, but we have to understand if there was one way. You know, I like to get up rah, and I like to share all the testimonies and the wins, but what about the people who don't ever take the step to call and say, hey, I need help? That's why it's very important in this video that you take action, that you're here, and that you commit to you and doing the work necessary to get there, because ultimately your health, you know, if you start in that ill health, not only do you feel, you know, good, but you feel bad, you feel horrible, you feel like headaches, disease, all these things add up. And ultimately, you guys, that's a sad life, and it's unfortunate. And so I want to stand as a pillar, as a volunteer, as saying, hey, I'm here to help, but I can't do the work for you. So in this video, let's consider that there is no neutral. You're either moving towards health or towards sickness. That our brain, spinal cord, and nerve system is absolutely the most crucial piece in communication within internal our body. What we do outside of that has a massive effect as well. That's why we have advanced workshops. Make sure you ask the front about those in our next upcoming one. That's why we have VIP passes for you to refer your friends and family. Yes, they save money, and yes, they save time when they come in and they're able to take advantage of those things. So listen, you guys, wherever you find yourself, whatever time of year you're watching this, know this, that your life is worth it, that it's easier than you think, that you can do it alone, but when you do it with consistency and commitment, the results will be yours. And your advantage life is one worth living and passing on. This is Dr. Jeff. I can't wait to see you in the office on your next adjustment. Until then, remember, we're going to make Scott County the healthiest in the state, and it's because of people like you. We'll talk to you soon.